Now, if you fast forward, I've had a baby. And if you fast forward another 17 years, my baby is now in high school. And he is the woodwind captain of the Owen Regiment Marching Band. And the minute he joined the band, I became a full-time band booster and fundraiser. So I want to tell you about the night that I became a concession stand mama. I was a little late getting to the high school because I had to park in the volunteer band parent parking lot, which was about 5 miles away from the high school. And so when I got there, the announcer was saying, "All right, rise for the playing of the national anthem. And my son and the rest of the band took the field in their Three Musketeer uniforms with their big hats with the long plumes. My son picked up his flute. His father was very concerned when he took up the flute instead of the drums. However, our son said, "Dad, relax. All the really pretty girls play flute, and they're going to need a captain." But this was no time to gloat. I needed to go to work. So I raced the 325 steps up to the top of the concession stands, found the door that said volunteer band parents only, opened it, only to find myself confronted by a short, squatty-bodied woman who said, whoa, missy. Where do you think you're going? That wasn't the welcome I was expecting as a volunteer, so I tried to educate her. I said, well, I'm a new volunteer band parent, and I'm here to work in the concession stands. Not without a name tag, you ain't. I said, well, I'm new. I don't have a name tag. Oh, is that right? You should have received a new band parent packet, and in that packet would have been your name tag. Did you receive said packet? I said, I don't think so, because I don't have a name tag. She said, people like you really stress me out. I ain't got all night. Let's get you in here and see if anybody can identify you. And then she grabbed onto my sleeve and pulled me into the concession stands. And I was overwhelmed by the smell of hot dogs and popcorn. And then I was overwhelmed by how scared all the other parents looked. And she said, can any of you identify her? And everybody was quiet. It was dead silence in there, and I knew everybody. And finally, one of the dads said, oh, I think that's Tori's mom. She said, oh, well, now we're getting somewhere. What's your name? Tori's mom. So I said, my name is Donna Marie. Make up your mind. Which one is it? Donnie or Marie? And I said, actually, I have two first names. And she took out a name tag and a Sharpie marker and wrote Donnie, D-O-N-N-Y on it, and slapped it on my chest. And then she said to the whole crowd in there, she said, all right, everybody. Now, I know a lot of you people have been working concessions 4 or 6 years, something like that. Some of you knew this night. But sanitation is job one when fast food, and I'm going to teach you how to wash your hands tonight the right way, the only way, my way. All right? So you're all going to do it. I don't care how long you've been doing concessions. Put your hands up in the air. I'm talking to you, sir. Put your hands up in the air. That's right. Get them up in the air where I can see them. Get them up in the air. Do it. All right, now, put your hands together like little divers diving off the diving board. And rinse your hands 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. All right? Now take 1, 2, 3 pumps of the soap. You're doing real well, sir. Wash your hands. Start with your wrists. Come all the way up your fingers. All the way up. Get all the little grubby grimies out. See them little grubby grimies? Get them all out. Now that's your left hand. All right? Now you're going to move on to your right hand, which is over here. Go ahead and bring that soap up around your wrist. Come and get all the little grubby grimies up each finger, up each finger. You're doing a great job, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. All right, now, put your hands together like little divers diving off the diving board. Rinse them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. Take 1, 2, 3 paper towels and dry your hands. And then use the towels to turn off the water. And that's how you wash your hands, all right? All right, Tori's mom, let's see you do it. So I went over to the little sink and I turned on the water. Took my hands like little divers diving off the diving board, and I rinsed them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. And then I took 1, 2, 3 pumps of the soap. She said, "Good. Come over here. I'm putting you on nachos." So we went over to this counter, and she took out a 3.5-foot long bag of nachos, slid it down the middle with a box cutter, and slid that thing back in her pocket. I would not have messed with her in the dark. She took out all these little paper trays and laid them on the counter, and then she took her hand and shoved it down in the bag, and she lifted out this wad of chips and stuck them in a paper tray, and she said, "All right, let me see you do it." I said, "Okay." So I stuck my hand down in the bag, and I pulled out a little wad of chips, and I put them down in the paper tray, and she said, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm putting the chips in the tray just like you did." "No. People like you just really stress me out. Did you go to college?" I said, "Yes, I did." "Oh, I could tell. How many chips are in my tray?" I said, "Well, I don't know." "Well, count them, Tori's mom." 12? There are 12 chips in your tray. "Yeah." "Well, in fast food, we call that a dozen, college girl." "How many chips are in your tray?" 15. "Yeah. And in fast food, we call that profit." "Try it again." So I stuck my hand down in the bag, and I pulled out another wad of chips, and I took those chips and I stuck them down in the paper tray. There were exactly 12. She was pleased. She showed me how to stir the plastic cheese. Explained that I would, if an order came for chili cheese nachos, need to add some of the canned chili to those. Showed me where the jalapeno pepper rings were for the garnishment. And then she said, "Now, do you see that man right there? He's the order taker, so he's going to say, 'Nachos.' And you're going to say, 'Nachos,' so that he knows that you heard him. And then you see that woman right there? She's the runner. So as soon as you make them nachos, you're going to say to her, 'Nachos up!' And she's going to come and take the nachos and give them to the customer. You understand?" I said, "Yeah, I think I've got it." So the first order came through. Nachos! "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm telling the order taker that I heard him." No. This is not the Grand Ole Opry. No nachos, just nachos. All right, just nachos like that. You got it? That took all the fun out of it. But I put on my big girl pants, and I became the nacho queen. I started making nachos so beautifully with just 12 chips per tray. I should have had a little crown. And then the order I'd been waiting on all night came through. Chili cheese nachos. chili cheese nachos. I took that tray of 12 chips. I went over and stirred the plastic cheese. I put tons of cheese on there. And then I took a half a can of chili and dropped that in little balls on top. And then I garnished each ball with a jalapeno pepper ring. Then I said, nacho chilies up! And I went for that runner, but I did not see that heavy electrical cord that they had taped across the floor until the chili cheese nachos went flying up in the air. And then they came down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, all over that woman. You are off nachos. Get over here. I'm putting you on drinks, college girl. See this? See this box right here? It's a cooler. All right. You see how there's Sprite, Dr. Pepper, Orange, Gatorade? See that? How it's all arranged in there? Okay. He's going to say Sprite, and you're going to say Sprite. Just Sprite, no Grand Ole Opry. You think you can handle that, Tori's mom? I said, yeah, I've got it. Well, the orders started flying through. It was halftime. Sprite. Sprite. Sprite up, Dr. Pepper. Dr. Pepper, Dr. Pepper up! Sprite! Sprite! Sprite up! At the end of that night, I had never worked that hard in my entire life. And I had never worked under that much stress either. And as she was wiping down the counters in the concession stand with a towel, she twisted that sucker up, and she came up behind me and swatted me on the butt with it. And she said, "Not bad, Tori's mom. See you next week." In the land of the free and the home of the brave. Thank you. Thank you. You know, I sure hope that's as much fun to listen to as it is to tell. I'm telling you what, I have to be very careful where I tell it. Because she has a lot of relatives in this area of the country, and most of them carry weapons.